Hey people, Andrej here, 3v3, SDL Province, blue team. ChunkyCoates with a Warboss, a melee hero, walking through objects, very good offense, disruption and support from the front lines. Alongside, it's Henry Cavill, also known as Morgan MLG Man and Adeptus Nubis, or you know what, maybe it is Henry Cavill, just showed up for a game. With a Plague Champion, starts off with a damage of a time bolt gun, can get melee weapons, some strong utility and support, can also repair. Morgan rocking the Death Guard elite scheme here. Rounding off the team is Papa Smurf with an Apothecary, support hero fighting in melee by default, begins with a heal and a passive health regeneration aura, Salamander's elite scheme. Red team, Andrej is a force commander, very strong offense fighting in melee, can also tank, disrupt and support. We have some good old Blood Ravens. Alongside Zero Cry is a Hive Tyrant, a very durable hero, walking through objects, cannot be suppressed with a powerful disruption, support and offense, begins in melee with a basic synapse. I shall call you Enrico. Rounding off the teams, Paranoid Kamikaze with another Apothecary. In fact, it's Apothecary versus Apothecary action on the east side. What's going on west though? Warboss stomps the Force Commander over. Sluggers need to try and avoid the battle cry here now. Pack's taking up cover. They might need to go for the garrison if the Sluggers get through. The Sluggers are indeed getting through. Force Commander stays here to smack around the shooters a bit, but does have to retreat. These guys do take the garrison, but burners are on the way. Those guys could have a really bad time in a few moments here. Warboss chasing the scouts. I think shooters going after them too. There's Burn That House. Powerful anti-garrison ability. Now they need to retreat through them. Wow, are they going to make it without model loss? I think they are, unless the Warboss can get one. Nope. Unbelievable. The Tactical Marines made it out. Very lucky, I think. Meanwhile, oh, Enrico the Hive Tyrants pushed all the way through the mid. There was some Nurgle worship there, and now we have double Chaos Space Marines for Morgan. Into Havocs. We saw the double shooters, Andrej with double Tactical Marines in response. Both the Apothecaries with single attacks. Probably they want Assault Marines and stuff. How many gens have they got up? Oh, this has been hit. I'm not sure if there was a generator there. Been replaced by Morgan. Got triple here. Lots of gens up for the red team. And that's Kamikaze putting 2 up. Suggesting they do want Assault Marines. Not sure about Papa Smurf yet though. What's this sneaking around? Oh, it's some scouts and tacks going up the eastern flank. Should be able to deal with the Hormagaunts with the bolt guns they have. Yep, sending them packing. Node though, I'm not sure if it's worth them standing there and shooting this thing. Might be worth just pushing through, trying to get a decap here. Unless those guys are getting... oh, they are getting a flamer. Looks like they're going straight for the natural power though with it. Back on the west side, Tacks with their fast capping are taking the VP. Got shotgun scouts. War banner is up for ChunkyCoates. We saw those burners. Anything else? Oh, we got cyborg implants up. Means he can stun that Force Commander now. Times it well. Force Commander just kind of ran into it there. A little bit sloppy from Andrej. Warboss is taking a lot of damage though. Those guys pop in their Kraken bolts for no particular reason. Gives a damage bonus versus heavy infantry, and there's no heavy infantry on the field here for the Orks. Force Commander goes down. That is a sloppy loss from Andrej. Just ran into Sluggers and died. And I think the scouts were idle unless they were still capping that wreck point. They're going to be melted by the double shooters though. Even without upgrades, they'll melt the scouts pretty quickly. They do have heavy cover. Sluggers looking for an approach. You know what? They should just go ranged stance and burn them in cover there. Hard boys on them. Scouts getting very low, cutting it very close there, Andrej. Assault squad on the way now. Sluggers able to get in on the tacks. I still think they should have ranged stance and just burned them there. Would do bonus damage to units in cover. Enrico the Hive Tyrant with Psychic Scream. I assume this is, you know, Cry this Crisis player. Zero Cry, I'm not sure though. Maybe it's another fella called Cry. Apothecary of Paranoid Kamikaze with a customized Stormbolter. Did indeed get Assault Squad, as you can see. Papa Smurf, no other unit up yet. Does have their own customized Stormbolter though. They also got shotgun scouts, and Kamikaze does not. They got that flamer too. We're just helping them in those cover-to-cover fights. Here comes the Hive Tyrant, though. And they got to watch for jumps. Flamer doesn't help you too much if you're jumped and knocked over and caught in melee. That Psychic Screen debuffing these things. Now some help from Morgan. They got Havocs, they got double CSM with a Tonal War, and a Plague Champion with Fetid Armor. Quite a lot of damage output early on here. Heavy Bolter and all those bolt guns buffed up is quite a lot. For the damage those Assault Marines are taking. Had to throw the heal out there, Paranoid Kamikaze. Maybe they could get full auto on the Plague Champion. Oh, Plague Champion runs in to pop Unholy Stench. All those guys suppressed now. He should try to stick around to keep them suppressed, because I think the ability, yeah, is centered on the Plague Champion. You see he's still stenching up there. Assault Squad taking tons of damage, going after the Havocs. Double CSM in retreat path. Get some melee going on. Can they finish them? Surely they can. Surely they have enough with the damage over time bolt gun. They do. Assault Squad wipe. Well played, Morgan. 455 to 438. Or should I say Mr. Cavill. Apothecary fell over as well. Bad fight for Paranoid Kamikaze, but they do go tier 2. What is this? Ormagaunt's eating power. And the Warboss has fallen down. Help him up. Big shooters have their knob leaders and big shooters now. I should say shooter boys have their knob leaders and big shooters now. So they are pouring huge amounts of piercing DPS out in tier 1. Scouts are going to melt very quickly, but Assault Squad here are to jump them. Looks like they took some damage already. Got to try and separate the shooters, and when they jump, use aim in watch that to suppress and keep moving, and then send the sluggers in and the Warboss. It's much easier said than done though. Burning down the node contested. Apothecary on capping duty. I was going to say the Hive Tyrant just standing there menacingly, but he was reviving the Apothecary. Levels to 2. Enrico is a helpful Hive Tyrant. Hive Mind recognizes allies to further its goals. Temporary allies. Gets full autoed. Pop Psychic Scream. Might need to run. Does indeed run. Double Termagants in play here with Toxin Sacks, so they are buffed up. 30% more damage, eh? Oh, they're getting Endless Swarm. 455 to 384. Apothecary refaces to try and cap that back. There's Crippling Poison on the Heretics. We're trying to get in from an angle. Double CSM, good. Smite on those Heretics there from the Librarian. That is from Paranoid Kamikaze coming out in tier 2. Zero Cry with a Tyrant Guard. Not sure if it was called in. West side, meanwhile, Slugger's in a bit of bother. Warboss is back to his feet, but has to run. Levels up and has a boss pole now. Lots of Daka. Would love to see Storm Boys out here from ChunkyCoates to jump the double tax. Not sure what they're up to, what their plan is in tier 2. Into a Weird Boy maybe. It's a big infantry army and Weird Boy helps shut down the Assault Squad. Kind of use the shooter boys as bait. The Assault Squad jumps them, then you throw out that Warp Vomit if you can. Bloodletter's on the way now for Henry Cavill. And there's that Unholy Stench. Can't suppress a Hive Tyrant though, so maybe used a little bit early there. Tyrant Guard getting through this thing with heavy melee damage. And a splash on hits. I think it's a 15 damage splash. And it does attack quite quickly, the Tyrant Guard, so it's quite nasty. Enrico getting in there. Bonded Exoskeleton now for the shield. And here come Crushing Claws. 108 heavy melee DPS. Nasty, nasty weapon. Supported by an Apothecary, of course. Just got a heal there. More Heretics on the way from Morgan. Needs them to support the Bloodletters. Lost them on that fight. Apothecary very low. But they've got a Plasma Gun. Plasma Gun does huge damage to a Tyrant Guard. So will the Bloodletters. The Tyrant Guard with super heavy infantry armor. So power melee and plasma weapons do a lot of damage to it. It has to charge out there. We got some plasma for Kamikaze as well. Meanwhile, west side, Warboss is chatting. Oh, he's got a Power Claw. Hard Boy's on himself. Looks like he's going after the Force Commander. Force Commander's a massive threat now with the Thunderhammer. Huge amount of disruption. Cleaves a model off the Assault Squad there. I think it's worth him going after the Assault Squad. He could make the argument that he should be going after the Tactical Marines. They're not doing anything right now. Andrej's forgotten about him. And there's that big stomp. Force Commander's going to go down. It's a good engagement for ChunkyCoates. Oh, they did get Storm Boys. Awesome. Don't have their Nob Leader yet, but they should be quite nasty with the Warboss support. Double Marco Zinch, I think, for Morgan. Indeed it is. Lots of anti-infantry damage. Bloodletters going on these tacks. Now they can go after the Apothecary himself. Just got crippled by the Termagants. Can maybe chop up the Librarian. Librarian got a good special attack there, but they were already retreating. There's some Nurgle worship. Oh, Havoc's getting wiped out by Enrico. Level 3 Hive Tyrant now. Here comes the Dreadnought though for Papa Smurf. Well played Hive Tyrant there, I think, if he can get away. Hopefully I haven't cursed him to death. I think he's alright. Yeah, he's alright. It was well played. Here comes a drop pod. With some Tactical Marines for Papa Smurf. Maybe they'll turn straight into Stern Guard veterans. Melee Dreadnought by default for the Space Marines. Goes after the Tyrant Guard here. Big damage and lots of damage from the Marco Zinch and Inferno Bolters as well. Tyrant Guard needs to charge away. I think it's alright. Oh, here's another Tyrant Guard. And another one for Zero Cry. Can this one survive though? I think it will. Unless a Dreadnought chases it all the way back. Tyrant Guards are quite slow when they're out of synapse range, trying to help out their mobility there with the Capillary Tower. Looks like it is going to make it out. The other Tyrant Guard getting some hits in, but there's those double Marco Zinch fellas. Don't have their aspiring champions yet, but even without him, they put out a bunch of damage. Hive Tyrant shows back up to give it some synapse. Chaos Dreadnought on the way for Morgan, kicking off on the west side. There's those Storm Boys with their Nob Leader. Yeah, even with the Thunderhammer around, even if this guy was up, it would be tough. It would be tough unless the Storm Boys and the Sluggers just get into one big neat blob for you to disrupt. I mean, assuming they go after different targets, it's going to be very difficult. Needs some good scout play, I think, with a sergeant and grenades and stuff, maybe. Bashing power now, 368 to 303. What they would really like to have is a Dreadnought, I'm sure. They've got Stern Guard veterans. The Hellfire rounds will certainly help pump out some DPS. Power gets completely bashed though and decapped. 2 to 1 for blue. It's quite close. Back on the east side again. Double Tyrant Guards and the heavy melee Hive Tyrant going after the Dreadnought. Soaking up huge amounts of damage, but it can't do it forever. The third Tyrant Guard was fighting Bloodletters, goes into shield wall mode, which gives it vehicle armor and some health regen. Just saw the Psychic Scream popped as well, got a big hit on that. And just strides through, does Enrico. Here's the Chaos Dreadnought with Marco Zinch, a missile launcher. Anti-large target, anti-vehicle. Tyrant Guards don't have vehicle armor, but anti-vehicle weapons are very effective against them since they'll pierce their armor and hit them as a large target. Ideally, for raw DPS though, you'd be using plasma and power and inferno weapons and that kind of thing. But a missile launcher and a las cannon will do some work for you, that's for sure. Can this Dreadnought survive? Looks like it can. Needs some repairs very badly. Scouts getting back there to do so. Heretics could also repair. Looks like they're going to do that. Plague Champion could repair himself. But looks like he wants to fight stuff. Frenzied Barrage against good suppression there from the missile launcher. Hive Tyrant runs away. Again, a really good push through there from Zero. Judged it quite well. Now Paranoid needs to be careful. There's a force barrier coming through. Bloodletter is teleporting through it though. Tyrant guards there to counter-initiate. Oh, Bloodletter just run away. You see 3 Tyrant guards bearing down on them. The Warboss has pushed through the west side completely now. Has stolen the power and noded it, and has decapped the wreck point over there, I can see. More Tyrant guard for Zero Cry. They might need to start rotating mid a bit more to get on that VP, because Andrej is struggling against the Orks. There's a war truck there now to reinforce these guys. All being buffed by the boss pole. There's a Bomber Boy. Oh, they missed. The Bomber Boy missed. That was weird. An awesome jump stuns all these guys. Of course, Commander, did he teleport in? Must have. Yeah, teleports in to disrupt things. Getting some good hits. But the Warboss is such a terror now. Look at him go. Oh, they're messing up the Storm Boys pretty well. Take out the Nob Leader. They're going to kill him, I think. They do kill him. The Hellfire round's doing huge amounts of work there. And that was actually a well-timed shotgun blast from Andrej. And down goes the Warboss as well. Just as I was talking them all up. Loses the Warboss, loses the Storm Boys. Feels emboldened to go after these sluggers nowadays. Use your choppers though. And that's bad. Bad for your assault squad. Really bad. I don't think they're getting away, you guys. Down they go. Draws them into a jump. Just pops that use your choppers. And in that kind of situation, it's just an I win button. They can't jump out again. They don't have the energy for it. And if they retreat, they just get destroyed. Gives plus 40 melee skill, I think. I believe that's set to be changed for the next update. I think it's set to give plus 20 melee skill rather than plus 40. I don't know exactly what the difference is going to be. They're still going to get tons of special attacks and stuff, but maybe not quite as much. Las Cannon getting a shot in. Looks like it's shooting different targets all the time. Invulnerability is up, allowing the Hive Tyrant to get in, but can't stay there for long. All 3 oh, there's 4 Tyrant guards. Where's the 4th one then? It's in the middle, just hanging out. 356 to 175. Big VP lead for the blue team. Almost 200. They are dominating this side. Andrej trying to take it back, using the vengeance rounds on the stern guard. They've not given Andrej much help over here, have they? I guess they've had their hands full on the other side, but need to support the player when they're getting pinned back like this. Warboss back to his feet, throws Ard Boys on himself. Stern guard have switched back to Hellfire rounds, the acid damage of a time, fellas. Shotgun blast is a good one. And if only they had a grenade in that situation. They're level 3. I think they should get their sergeant up. I think it's a good purchase. But, I mean, every purchase is so vital now for Andrej. Down to just 3 units. Light on resources. No support. They really have their hands full on this side. There's a Land Raider Redeemer now to deal with. And they have finally grabbed the central VP, the red team. They start eating into this lead. Terminator's called in for Paranoid Kamikaze. Tier 3 now for Zero Cry. Can they go quad Tyrant Guards into a Swarm Lord to buff their speed? That'll be fun. Or a Neurothroat maybe. Neurothroat will do a lot of work here. Is that double plasma attacks? Yeah, double plasma attacks. They're trying to shoot down these Tyrant Guards, of course. Got this one very low. That one goes shield wall. No sign of a weapon upgrade yet for these Terminators. Bloodletters have found some termagants to bully. They still want to keep him alive, apparently, Zero Cry. There's that crippling poison. Can't suppress demons, but you can cripple them, apparently. And there's the warp shift. Termagants forced them to use it, I guess. There's some Nurgle worship to heal them up. Dreadnought needs some healing. Or some repairs. Scouts are trying to do it. Where's the Plague Champion though? Oh, Plague Champion needs to repair his own Dreadnought. Nurgle worship will heal it up. Which is very, very handy. Not as efficiently as just repairing it, but worship heals everything. Wow, that was a lot of damage from that Cyclone Missile Launcher barrage on the Dreadnought there. Now he's gone multi-melter. Awesome. Apothecary falls over. Here comes some Ripper Swarm, fellas. Hive Tyrant gets in there to pop the Psychic Scream. Gonna throw up Invulnerability. There it is. Goes after the Dreadnought. Are they gonna get it? That was so much damage, those 3 hits. Tyrant Guard in there as well. Looks like the Dreadnought makes it out. The Rippers were trying to get on it to slow it down, I think, and help Enrico finish it off, but he couldn't quite manage it. Tyrant Guard backs away. They've used the Tyrant Guard so well in Zero. So well. Always able to get them away. I don't think they've lost one and replaced it. I don't think so. They're all level 2, I think, are they? No, this one's level 1. The latest one is level 1. Everything retreating back to the Land Raider. I don't think the Hive Tyrant did, though. No. They haven't set the Land Raider as their retreat point. There's an Orbital. Orbital from Papa Smurf. The Land Raider will take a lot of damage, but it will be able to tough it out. Big chunk of damage there, as you can see. Some of the stuff ducked inside of it, I think, yeah. Terminators couldn't quite make it in there, but they're alright. And there's the repairs. And it is going to hang out here on the power. Blue team got their VP back. Looks like the Force Commander's been downed on the west side. That was a nasty smite on those CSM. What's the multi-melter Dreadnought shooting at? It's shooting at the Terminators. Cyclone Missile Barrage. That could have been really nasty at that range. Here comes a Tyrant Guard and another one. 258 to 165. They're in there. Auto cannon from Morgan. Bloodletter's doing a lot of damage. Are these Tyrant Guard going to go down here on this push? Here come the double Marcos CSM. Havocs are going to make it out, I think. Yes, they are. They're trying to finish off that Dreadnought. There's the shield wall. But here's a tank. The tank will be able to bust through the shield wall, you would think. I'm not sure if the heal gets better as they level. I feel like it should, but I don't think it does. The shield wall heal, I don't think it improves. This guy's going to go down. The other guy also went down. Yeah, he's down to 2 Tyrant Guard now. Got a zone throw up. Maybe for Symbiosis. Yeah, there it is. We'll see what they follow it up with. ChunkyCoates as a Knob Squad. Oh, the Hive Tyrant went onto the west side to get a revive, maybe? Yeah, the Force Commander's back, look. Level 3. Still a very big threat with the Thunderhammer. Well, a very big presence, let's say. It's not as killy as it was when it did tons of damage on that special attack. Knob Squad get all the way through for a decap. 258 to 124. Can they get onto this? Is it worth taking the Land Raider over to the west side to sit there? It really might be, you know. If not, bring it a bit more central. They're getting a bit of tunnel vision on this east side, I think. VP says, Kamikaze, I agree. You gotta move your Land Raider, buddy. Double cap for blue now. Here comes a Predator tank for Andrej. Meanwhile, through the mid, ChunkyCoates getting it done. Maybe with a cap. Knob Squad are forced to retreat. Probably got crippled by the Termagants and stuff. And plasma gunned as well. These guys using Vengeance rounds. They should be using Kraken bolts versus the Knobs. They're heavy infantry, not super heavy. Although it might just be for the War Truck. War Truck gets away. Sluggers level 4. I think we'll be alright. Zone Thrope's taking some damage. Oh, maybe not. Tyrant Guard are there. Down they go. Why did I say that? I sentenced them to death immediately. Just 20 VPs remaining for red team. I feel like they had enough to put more pressure on VPs here. Look where the Land Raider is. I mean, I don't have a problem with it being mid-map, but why is it so far on the east side? Red team are going to lose this game now. There's an Imperial Abyss, and that's a nasty one. 1-to-1 cap. Red team not out of it yet. I don't know if they wiped anything, but it was a nice nuke. Oh, they actually got some friendly fire on Upper Smurf's attacks there. Predator now gets some repairs. The red team finally have the west side. Zero showed up with some Tyrant Guard and this pretty awesome Hive Tyrant. That's a double knob squad though for ChunkyCoates, supported by a War Truck and a Warboss. Level 5 with a claw of his own. And they all have... Oh no, these guys don't have the U-jammers yet. Can the red team hold on for a comeback here? Big stomp, stuns the Hive Tyrant. And here come the double knob squad. What is your plan here exactly? Thunderhammer? Force Commander's not interested at the moment. Down goes the Warboss though. Tyrant Guard took him out quick alongside the Hive Tyrant. Here comes the Force Commander. Teleports in. Where's he teleported? Oh, he's there. I thought he went after those guys. I don't see the battle cry yet. Oh, he doesn't have I don't think he has the energy for the battle cry. There it is. Popped it now. Knob squad dealt with. They had Ard boys on them too. Where's the... oh, Enrico went down. Got knob squadded down, I guess. The Tyrant Guard, though, survived. Plague Champion with Plague Fist, Mucus Discharge, and now the Armor of Pestilence. Very good capping war gear. Got the decap, but then goes down. Tyrant Guard doing huge amounts of work before it maybe goes down itself. Use your choppers on the knob squad. Trying to bust it down when it's in shield wall. There's also a tank here with a las cannon. They got it down, but I think it was it being healed by the zone thrower as well? It must have been. It lasted a long time there. 191 to 2. Double cap for red team. This Dreadnought still around. Lictor on it. Gets knocked over though, and maybe dies. Tries to jump out. Has to run. I'm not sure if it's going to get away. There's a lot of stuff on retreat path. Oh no, there isn't. The bloodletters are too far away and they can't jump, I don't think. It might be alright. Could get caught by something. Oh, the tank went down, look. That was... Whose tank was that? Andrej's, I think. They're getting another one. Knob squad with Ard boys on them. Stern Guard, you need to switch to Kraken bolts, fellas. Using their Hellfire is not going to do anything to the Knob squad. Don't seem to be switching. Do have a plasma gun here though. Triple cap for red. Knob squad soaking up outrageous amounts of damage though. Level 3 these fellas. These guys on capping duty. Meanwhile, blue team trying to get their natural under control. There's the force barrier. Where's the land raider? It's still in that spot. Still in that spot. There's a neuro throw up now for 0. Las cannon tank doing some decent work. That's double cyclone missile launcher terminators though. That tank might not last too much longer. Bloodletter's getting in there. And there's touch of Nurgle on him. Having to teleport away those guys. There's that touch of Nurgle explosion. Can they get the librarian down? No. He's alright. He's relatively tough, the librarian, isn't he? Yeah, look. 14, 16 hit points with upgrades and stuff at level 4. 59 to 2. The red team hold on to these VPs. Down goes the tank. I think the Lictor also died. Yep, Lictor also died. Got some late Hormagaunts here. It might have been a without number call in. But they're holding the west side for sure. Andrej's got another tank. ChunkyCoates down to a single knob squad now. He's not happy with Cry supporting this west side against him, I guess. Because ChunkyCoates hasn't had the help that that Andrej got in the late game here. How did they kill a Nob squad? See some bodies back there. I don't know what they did. I was on the other side, wasn't I? A red team gonna win this. 16-2. Very close. Morgan still has a huge army, but I don't think they can afford to leave this central area here and go help the west side. Maybe if they could split. Well, they're sending a tank there. They're trying to split. But it's getting a las cannon tank in its face already. 1-2 on the VPs. Terminators here for Papa Smurf. Getting wrecked. Down they go. Got destroyed there by the Hive Tyrant. Is level 9. Lake Champion caps. Gets the 2-1. Is that enough? It is enough. The Plague Champion gets the cap at the end, and the blue team do pull it out, you guys. Painboy was up at the end helping out. Yeah, don't get closer than that. 1-0 at the end. They couldn't quite get onto this VP. You know what? Maybe they could have. Maybe they could have gone a bit harder here, Paranoid Kamikaze, to get a decap. Maybe they didn't quite know how close it was on this side here. Level 6 Warboss for ChunkyCoates. Pretty dominant start on this side, but was very depleted at the end because of the support that Zero gave. Here's that Plague Champion, got the clutch cap. Level 6 at the end. Papa Smurf's Apothecary, level 4 and down. Level 6 Force Commander was stunned by something at the end, maybe a big stomp or something. Enrico the Hive Tyrant was a powerhouse. Level 9 with Crushing Claws. And a level 8 Apothecary for Paranoid Kamikaze. Looks like they had combat stims and improved medical equipment at the end. There you have it, guys. Awesome game. Awesome stuff. Thank you for watching. And I'll see you next time.